Privately, at the Indiana Pacers Stadium, 3 basketball gathered myths regarding insiders, referring to the most crucial announcement about basketball for ladies. Previous, Caitlin Clark of the WNBA, amazing rookie who transformed in the entire league. Sophie Cunningham, the fierce rival who has never offered assistance. Out of sight of everyone, particularly Larry Bird, a legendary Boston Celtics basketball player. Knowledge is passed down via generations. As a group, they will reveal information that possibly change the trajectory of basketball as a lifetime career. This meeting's confidentiality has been severe, with a select few individuals, officials present, and strict agreements to maintain confidentiality. But what shared characteristics would these 3 basketball players have? Concepts from different eras of history and backgrounds? What sort of declaration could so groundbreaking that it required the most notable basketball legend to date of giving up public presentations? The consequences of this finding has the potential to alter how we felt that we understood the future of basketball. Caitlin Clark has a reputation for the most significant rookie in the WNBA history, delivering the first concentration and monetary achievement to women's professional basketball through her exceptional playing and sales skills. Her connection to Indiana basketball throughout the duration of her college career at Iowa, in addition to her current position with the Fever from Indiana. Larry Bird's friendship with in Indiana basketball is legendary, being from French Lick, Indiana, and being the best on the field throughout NBA history with the Boston Celtics, before returning to Indiana as the executive of the Pacers, and his influence on basketball players and tactics development is still important throughout the entire game. Sophie Cunningham now stands for the Phoenix Mercury. She established herself as one of the WNBA's most intense competition and flexible players. Her play, and league tactics have made her a well-known veteran, despite the fact that they are only in her 6th professional season. The connection between these 3 figures comprises their shared commitment to basketball skills and their ability to potential involvement in projects that could bridge the gap between generations, between women's and men's basketball. There are problems with what cooperative opportunities could unite individuals, such as diverse personalities in basketball. Sports analysts wonder if recent discusses expanding basketball opportunities and gender parity mentoring programs could have resulted in conditions in which these 3 basketball minds can work together on fantastic work. Caitlin, the first season of Clark was basically altered the landscape of women's professional basketball, producing crops, attendance and viewership statistics, and monetary success that exceeded everything past significant events in WNBA history. Her one person's influence is not enough. Furthermore, statistics provide broader cultural and economic impacts. Although, during her debut season, Clark performed mediocrely. Schergelier are points, but they assists, and wooden rebounds in every game, resulting in the initial Indiana Fever outbreak. Involvement in the playoffs due to Arts Henley's loop. She received an award for her efforts from the WNBA Rookie of the Year honors and made her the face of the women's professional basketball television. Participation in WNBA games with Clark often exceeded 1 million viewers with access to specific broadcasts, almost 2 million views. These numbers represent historic achievements for women's professional basketball and have affected media coverage and advertisements, partnerships, throughout the league. Clark's attendance's impact presence has been equally as spectacular as the typical quantity of Indiana Fever home games is around Shu-Chi-Ling supporters as opposed to the league. The average in the vicinity of Joe Ling Road. Games featuring Clark were always in high demand. sporting venues that had previously encountered challenges. Being present, partial social, media visibility, and personal brand. Recent developments have yielded new models for strategies for the development of female basketball players, acknowledgement and monetary value that surpass their on-court performance. This impact has produced chances for discussions with legendary basketball players and business leaders at every level of the match. Sophie Cunningham is there. Among the WNBA's most prestigious players, competitors, and vocal leaders who take advantage of her platform to defend players' rights. League growth, in addition to the creation of women's professional basketball. Her influence extends beyond her own life. Performance to go farther. Leadership in the game of basketball. Community. While she was playing in the WNBA, over his time with the Phoenix Mercury, Cunningham has averaged about 10 points and stand-in rebounds during every game while generating. Considered herself as one of the league's finest, reliable and flexible players. Both three-point shooting and defense vitality, making her a valuable participant in the championship competition. Groups. Cunningham's ability to lead extends beyond about her involvement with the Player Association, behaviors, and her encouragement of her RNBs for improved working conditions, compensation, and recognition of women's professional basketball players. Her preparedness to talk about in public. Due to league issues, she is now regarded as communication between the players and the management. Her intense competition and bravery, attitude to challenging situations with earned the admiration of teammates, rivals, in addition to basketball enthusiasts, commitment to excellence, in addition to her unwillingness to comply with limitations due to gender or league affiliation. Questions. Worries about Cunningham's ability to lead. Characteristics and past advocacy experience may make arrangements for her to take part in initiatives that span multiple levels of basketball or create an original women's basketball prospects. Advancement. Larry Bird's impact on his Hall of Fame is just one aspect of basketball of Fame's stage career, including his alumnus successful profession as an executive with the Indiana Pacers and his ongoing influence in basketball, player growth, tactics, and corporate culture everywhere. Professional basketball, as he was playing career with the Boston Celtics. Etson native Joel Chitty Serjolto, Joel Shirar, Arsayer, and Bird averaged good sense points, sure dentling, rebounds, and yakton assists per game while winning 3 NBA championships and 3 consecutive MVP awards. His basketball and the degree of competition. His brilliance made him one of the greatest NBA players in history. When he was done playing, Bird served as the head coach of the Indiana, the Pacers of Ichin Joel Jalshi Tito Artson, for instance, leading the Group 2 NBA Finals for arson and earning. Ichin was named the NBA Coach of the Year, Joel by Joel Sherbad. His transformation from athlete to coach demonstrated his deep understanding of basketball, strategy, and leadership. As the leader of basketball-related events for the Indiana Lingish Pacers to Arson and, again from Arn Lingisher to Arsini, Bird established competitive teams by strategic drafting, player development, as well as the development of corporate culture. His effect on the Pacers' organizational structure continues to resonate throughout the franchise. So for Bird's reputation for basketball expertise and his connections during the match, making him a crucial Portsmouth's mentor and advisor for players and organizations seeking to achieve greatness. His involvement in any endeavor pertaining to basketball would yield authenticity and attention to detail that few other numbers could provide. Indiana basketball's culture is among the most knowledgeable and passionate admirer bases with connections in all sports that go beyond high school to Professional basketball, in addition to a couple, one of the most well-known figures in the sport, as well as times, at the moment, Caitlin Clark's, being assigned to the Indiana Fever. The main attraction of this basketball culture, where she has come into contact with the art and support and basketball material that describes Indiana sports admirers. Her achievements have re-energized a desire to play basketball professionally throughout the entire state. Larry Bird's work. The history of Indiana is lengthy. From his French lick during his early years, relationship with Indiana State University, and his ongoing involvement in reference to the Indiana Pacers. His connection to Indiana basketball represents honesty and dependability that echoes all throughout the basketball court. Community. The Indiana connection. Bird and Clark is a producer of organic opportunities for mentoring, collaboration, and initiatives that could support both men's and women's interests, while honoring the basketball team of the state. Fantastic basketball history and passionate fandom. Commentators on sports wonder if this connection to Indiana could serve as basketball's foundation. Initiatives that bridge generational gaps and provide new opportunities for player development and fan interaction throughout the many levels of a sport. The notion of intergender mentoring has grown in the world of professional basketball, known as Orthodox women's basketball, continues to grow in popularity and financial achievement, producing opportunities to share information and development of both men's and women's basketball communities. In effect, examples of cross-gender mentoring consist of NBA players and coaches who have collaborated with WNBA players on talent development, expansion, preparation, and proficiency advancement. These relationships have benefited both parties and demonstrated the significance of information sharing between boundaries between the sexes in professional athletics. The familiarity with and history of legendary other athletes like Larry Bird might provide enlightening observations for women now. Basketball players trying to maximize their powers and bargain the challenges faced by professional athletes. Occupations. This guidance may consist of both on and off the court skills. Growth of companies. Women's basketball players provide unique perspectives and interactions that could be beneficial. Men's basketball, including tactics to team building, fan interaction, and involvement in the neighborhood that has been thriving in the WNBA environment. There are questions on how formal mentorship programs or collaborative attempts could be made to maximize the benefits for all participants while paying tribute to the various cultures and challenges of occupations for women and men. The Caitlin generated financial success. Thanks to Clark, the WNBA has generated new business opportunities, partnerships, endorsement contracts, and collaborative activities that could benefit several parties involved in a basketball community. Sponsors of businesses and commercial partners are growing increasingly keen to establish a connection with successful women's basketball players and initiatives that demonstrate commitment to gender equality and excellence in athletics. These opportunities provide the potential for collaboration, activities with a lot of basketball, layers of figures. The growth of women's basketball has attracted financial support and business leaders focus when they watch opportunities for expansion and inventiveness in the sports. These business endeavors could provide financial support for initiatives that combine many basketball personalities. Larry Bird's work, relationships, and commercial expertise. Furthermore, the marketability of these days, WNBA players such as Clark and Cunningham was able to generate powerful partnerships that benefit both parties, individual occupations, and the greater a basketball community. The athletic sector. Analysts note that cooperation initiatives involving well-known figures, even though modern celebrities usually create more concentration and monetary achievement in contrast to individual efforts that yield benefits for cooperation amongst several parties and statements. The combination of well-known individuals like Larry Bird with well-known figures like Caitlin Clark and the media produced by Sophie Cunningham, opportunities that result in significant interest and attention of the public at large across several demographic groups and basketball fan bases. Media coverage of women's basketball has become more and more popular, largely because to Clark's accomplishments, creating platforms and audiences that wasn't present in previous generations of female basketball players. This increased concentration leads to opportunities for more general basketball announcements and projects. The participation of well-known people like Bird lends credibility and historical relevance, an appealing background for long-term basketball fans, in addition to presenting younger watchers of basketball history and tradition. This generational appeal maximizes media impact and public image interest. The power of social media to amplify basketball content that combines a number of prominent individuals can create viral moments that surpass traditional basketball supporters, introducing both to potential admirers. Men's and women's basketball questions arise in relation to the application of strategic media, coordination and announcement timing, potentially intensify the impact of collaborative endeavors while ensuring, because every individual benefits from increased understanding of the competence of legendary players like Larry Bird, combined with the competitive experience of players from today like Sophie Cunningham may create a unique player opportunities for growth that are favorable. One loss in basketball, both now and in the future. Players at all levels of the sport. Programs for developing skills that integrate information from many historical eras. Different play styles could provide chance for comprehensive development that address both fundamental basketball skills and modern strategic techniques to the game. The Birds' combination of basketball intelligence and strategy, taking into account the ongoing work, the experience of current WNBA players could create training plans that the benefit of the players, making the transition between different basketball skill levels or want to maximize their